All right. Uh, Good afternoon, guys. How's everyone doing? Let me start by introducing myself. My name is Moses Amos, and currently a student of Cyprus International University studying computer engineering in Cyprus. Sorry, this came as a short notice, so I just want to, try and put something together very quickly, and I hope you guys get a thing or two from it. So today I would like to quickly talk on human capitalization. Uh, I think this is quite an interesting topic because uh, it's something that Africa especially has really been lacking behind. And it seems that there's just no architecture or no plan for this defect, you know. And human capitalization, like I said, is the fuel for every nation. It's the fuel for every nation. It's like it empowers a nation. And in my understanding and in my belief, I know that human capitalization, which means investing in the people, has a lot to do with their personal growth, which will then build the nation, build the economy. So this is why I decided to quickly talk briefly about human capitalization. All right, so let me begin. Firstly, I'd like to just state some one or two areas that I'll touch very quickly. So, all right, I'll just start by defining human capitalization. I'll talk about the approach, the concepts, and the introduction, and then the benefits. And of course, Africa in focus, just as I said, Africa in focus. So, what is human capitalization? But first, let's understand what is human capital. Human capital is the skill or value of or experience of a person or that a person possesses. So we invest in ourselves because we want something. We want to be of value to a particular sector or to a particular field, or we actually want a reward. For example, we invest in maybe stocks or crypto or something because we're expecting a reward, right? So we have expectations. So human capital is just the skill or value of a person or the experience of a person. So human capitalization in itself. So human capitalization deals with the aspect of what a person has to offer. So if, for example, we have a software developer, for example, and we know, okay, this person has this and that to offer, and we can capitalize based off this, and then this person becomes of value to us or becomes of value to the company. So we can say that human capitalization basically is about taking advantage of what a person has to offer. Human capitalization can be, how do I put it? You can actually view this from many aspects. Sometimes the person doesn't actually really have something to offer. You can actually train that person to gain this skill set or this value, and then this person can be of use to whatever you need the person for. Let's say, for example, if you have a company, or let's say, for example, it's an airline, the airline basically will want to train their pilots first, and then the pilots take the training, pass the exam, and then they start to fly for the company. So you can see that is like something like a give and take. So you are giving so that you can get value back from that person. So this basically is human capitalization. Investing in people, investing in someone, investing in anything that can be of great reward to you or to your organization and so on. This is what we mean by human capitalization. All right, so I just want to talk about the concept very quickly. I'm sorry, this will be very short. This will be very short. Actually, I was given like a short-term notice, so Mr. Amos INTERNATIONAL just told me to prepare something for about 5 minutes or something like that. So I'll just quickly rush through. So I'd like to talk about the concept of the concept introduction very quickly. Uh, Investment. People invest in human capital just the way we invest in businesses, or businesses invest in physical capital. So we know that it's just for a purpose of getting something in return over time, right? Just as I said before, we are investing to get a reward, or we are investing to get something back in return. So this is why people invest in businesses, and then now I'd like to talk about the kind of the concept of human capitalization. Firstly, we have the conventional empowerment programs. And empowerment programs like could be funding, for example, maybe you get a group of people that have some business ideas and then you fund the business idea, you know. This is the kind of empowerment that we know. Also, it could be through training. Empowerment could also be through training. You train people and then you fund them, for example. You train them and you fund them and you say, okay, go into this sector or go into that sector, and then you just expect something back. This is the approach that we know. This is the approach that is very common worldwide. And the problem about this approach is that when we empower people or we tell them, go and function in this field, go and function in that field, are we expecting a reward? But the problem is that if, for example, they are going to invest in a business and start up a business, this business eventually will rely on the economy. This business will eventually rely on the economy. Let me just take us to the next slide very quickly. Uh, so this business basically will rely on the economy. And the reason why this approach can be good and can be bad also is that we fund the people to survive in an economy. Basically, we fund them to start a business. And then these people eventually get into the business, and we have an industry that is saturated, an industry that has a very high competition. Now, remember that the ability of the person to survive in such a market does not really depend on the training that the person got. Because remember that even when you train someone, you're training them to, yes, to know how to approach the real world, but not necessarily how to be creative. Creativity comes from experience, and then the person can know how to adapt in whatever field or whatever market finds himself. All right. So, but the thing is, our conventional empowerment that funds people to start up businesses or trains them and funds them to start up businesses, they basically just try to survive in an economy. They try to survive in an economy. They rely on the economy, meaning that if we have um, if we have a struggling economy, it is very likely that whoever has been empowered will also struggle. Whatever business idea the person has will also struggle. Because remember that for a business to be prosperous, it means that the economy has to be prosperous. And how do you know that an economy is prosperous? An economy is prosperous the um, when the spending power of the people is good enough. When the spending power of the people is good enough. So here, very quickly, I said the reason why such approach has little results is because conventional empowerment funds people to survive in an economy, and the main aim is for them to make a living. Like for example, you go to some areas and then you get some people, you start up something small for them and you say, just start this business and then you can make a living from it. This is just basic stuff. This is just basic stuff. So you start up a business for them and then they can make a living from this business. So I said, this is because when the government funds the people to start small businesses, these businesses rely on a prosperous economy, just as I said. So it automatically means that this business is not future proof. This business is not future proof, is that if the economy has to always be prosperous, then this means that um, the business needs the economy to always be prosperous. Once the economy starts to decline, this business also starts to decline. And this is not something new. This is something we've seen all over the world. This is something that we've seen people struggle, businesses struggle in the UK, in the US, all over Europe. And once the economy is failing, automatically it affects businesses as well. But the thing is that, yes, we are empowering people to be able to survive, to be able to, make a living and all that. But we are not actually doing anything to the economy itself. Meaning that if an economy is failing, we are empowering people in a failing economy, and the economy will continue to fail. So if the economy will continue to fail, there really isn't any use. There really isn't any use, because at some point, these people that we empower will also face their own struggles in their various businesses, right? So now this is why I would like to talk about the human capitalization approach. Human capitalization approach seeks to invest in the people, meaning that we invest in the people so that these people can be of value to the economy. All right. So we invest in the people, and then these people now can be of value to the economy, not for their own personal selves. Of course, their own personal selves for the knowledge that they will gain overall, but they are actually putting whatever they learn back into building the economy. So what are the benefits of this approach? So, I said, this is a powerful tool for the government, especially for the government, because we know that the nation is in the hands of the government. Because they are not just teaching and funding people to start small scale businesses that can take advantage, they can also take advantage to build the economy, So, we are not just funding people to go and start small scale businesses just to survive. And at the end of the day, they can't even survive because there is a lot of competition in the market, or people's spend purchasing power has dropped. And so people don't even patronize the business, or whatever service it might be, will it be a good service that they offer, you know? So instead of doing this, the benefits that the government can actually take from this is that they can teach the people, and then they can put the people into various sectors to build the economy. So we said, for example, for training programs, for example, we can teach people in agriculture, science and technology, renewable energy, engineering, for example, And if you see these sectors in particular, science and tech, agriculture, renewable energy, engineering, I think these are the main backbone these are the main backbone of a nation. And what do I mean by this? Imports in agriculture, for example, importing and exporting. If let me take Nigeria as a case study. We know that we import a lot of things, generally in Africa, but Nigeria especially, we import a lot of things, And wouldn't it be good if we, as a people, as a nation, can start to manufacture these things? But if you empower a like just one person, for example, and say go and start a business, this person does not have the ability to start an empire of agricultural business, or an empire for science and tech, or an empire for renewable energy. How does this person get this funding, or how long does this person have to save to start this kind of big projects? So this is the reason why um, in the government taking advantage of industrial training people in these sectors. And then these people are going to get knowledge, and at the same time, they're getting paid. Why? Because you teach them, you invest in them, these people become of value to you, and then you use them, and then they're getting paid. So it's a win-win situation for the government and for the people. So after training, the people are employed in various establishments done by the government, or other partnerships and so on. And they are able to target various sectors. And this way we can drive the economy by reducing imports, promoting exports, and then we have proper infrastructure. As we know, for example, power sector in Nigeria especially is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We can as well say we don't even have electricity in that country. It's ridiculous. And there are many areas that we can take advantage of. For example, in renewable energy, there's so many areas that we can take advantage of. We have the raw materials, we manufacturing mass batteries and all that. We have the raw materials, and we're not just taking advantage of it. Why? Because we don't have the people with the knowledge to actually make this work. If, for example, let's say, for example, we talk about renewable energy. We need people who can mine, for example. We need people who can mine, people who can get raw materials. We need factories. We need people who work in the factories, people who have the knowledge, the ability for research, and to, at the end of the day, give us a finished product. So it's in the government's best interest to start to think at large. It's in the government's best interest to start to think of how they can take advantage of the people that they have on ground, invest in them, and these people will be a great tool for the government, because this time around um, you're not just giving aid to one or two people and telling them go and do this business or do that business and try to survive. This is, you have an initiative, you have a plan, you know what you expect, and then you're teaching people so that they can get the experience to work for you, because you already have the plan, you already know what you want, and you already know how to boost the needs of the nation. So this way we see that we are building the economy, because now we have low unemployment rates, for example. We have low imports, we have high exports, we have proper infrastructure in um, electricity, and so on and so like that. So it just takes the leadership, for example, it just takes the government, for example, to know how to tackle these various sectors that we lack in, take advantage of the people, capitalize of these people, invest in them, teach them, and then these people will be of value to you. So this is just what I would like to share very quickly on human capitalization, because we see that it's a very interesting topic, um, but it's something that in Nigeria, for example, the government is not really taking advantage of, and it's something that we lack in so much. Apart from you as a person being innovative, at the end of the day, you need sponsors. For example, you need sponsorships for this and that, and instead of having a bunch of individuals looking for sponsorships to start this business or start that business, why not just, since you have a plan, you have the roadmap, why not just teach these people, and then let these people start to function in various areas where they make a good living for themselves, and at the same time they are helping you boost and achieve a goal for the country or for the nation. So like it's a give and take really, but it's a really really good approach that the government actually needs to pay attention to. But we see that it's not really something of interest. It's not really something of interest. If I would like to take Nigeria as a case study, for example, it's not really something of interest. This is not something that, because the Nigerian government, the Nigerian leaders in general, they don't really, they are used to everything being ready-made. You know, they look at the white man for this, they look at the white man for that, they look at, they always want to import everything. Why? Because they're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to go through the painstaking process of building and then getting the finished material. But at the end of the day, this is what we need as a nation. This is what we need in areas of science and tech, in areas of power, in area of agriculture, and whatever it is, whatever the case may be. We really just need to start from scratch. And I hope that I've been able to share one or two things. Sorry, like I said, this might be short, but it was a short notice as well. But I was just giving like 5 to 10 minutes just to talk on something, and I hope you guys really uh, took one or two things from this. Thank you so much, guys. All right.